another episode of the C-Suite Edge. I'm your host, John Light. I'm the founder and CEO of Sabretooth Recruiting, and as a headhunter, I get to talk to a lot of people. And one of the more interesting stories I've heard recently comes from Maree Moscati from Copytalk. Maree, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
So, I got to ask if you could, because I think your background is really intriguing. So I'm hoping you can take 90 seconds or so and kind of give us a rundown of where you've been career-wise and your journey there, but also what's brought you to Copytalk and how do those things align?
Okay, great question. Well, my background started as a financial advisor many years ago. It started when I was 12. And my first entree into the business is, as those of you who have been around in the business for a while, was the year of 1987. And if anybody remembers October of 1987,
Market
that
crash.
was my first, that was Black Monday. I'll never forget it. Boy, that was some introduction into the industry. But I've had a 30-plus year career as FINRA registered, was a principal of a broker-dealer and trust company, was president and CEO for many years, and grew up in the industry along the way. And it's an industry that I have the utmost respect for and very proud of the people that I had the opportunity to learn from along my journey and the people that I got to serve. So it's a profession that in my mind and in my heart is second to none in the industry. Coming to Copytalk, I've been the CEO of Copytalk this is my 13th year. And if you would have told me 15 years ago that I would be sitting at the helm of a tech company, I would tell you were out of your mind. But what led me to Copytalk was really very simple. I used Copytalk as a manager and CEO of hundreds of advisors and management team. And it was a life-saving tool for me at the time. And one of the things that captured me was the fact that their commitment to the industry, to the regulatory bodies, and their privacy and security protocols are second to none. And that was, as a principle, that was obviously critically important to me, both as a user and obviously overseeing the firm as a whole. And we hold true to those principles to this day. And they're every year they get more and more rigorous. So much so that our firm is committed to an organization called Shared Assessments. Shared Assessments sets the tone for third-party vendor risk management in the industry. I have sat on their advisory board for many years, and I also hold their certification as a certified third-party professional. So and so does some of my management team. So we're very proud of that. We take it very seriously.
Well,
and that's how I came to Copytalk. They said it wasn't going to last, but 13 years later, I'm still here.
13 years is a heck of a run. And look, when you talk about compliance and regulation, especially something around financial services, banking and such like, I think there's got to be guardrails and parameters around there because you're handling people's future. Their ability to put their kids through college, to retire, to take a trip, to handle reversals, in business or career. It's about as important as an intimate relationship as you're going to have as a third party with someone professionally. All that being said, I'm real curious, when you look at Copytalk, which frankly I didn't know about, not being in that industry directly and needing it as a resource. So I'm really curious if you could share with us what's the biggest problem you and Copytalk solve for your client base?
Well, I think we solve a myriad of issues that financial advisors and the firms that they represent have to manage on a not only day-to-day but minute-by-minute basis. I think in today's world, everybody wants that shiny new object, which everybody knows is the AI. Our model, and we've been around for 24 years, so we have long-standing, phenomenal reputation in the marketplace. But I think the issue is for us is not only keeping pace with the technology and the demands, the rigorous demands of what the regulatory bodies and the firms that represent the financial services industry or any regulated industry, whether it's legal or health-wise, has to meet. And not only do they have to meet it, but they have to, as I mentioned earlier, they have to meet it on a day-to-day basis. It's not just one and done or an annual review or
Right.
even a quarterly review today. I'm very proud to say that we have a very dynamic, very talented in-house employees that are IT and development. So everything we do is in-house. We started our firm using human transcriptionists, all U.S. based in our facilities, very much modeled after a FINRA testing center would be. And that model, up until COVID, really kept us aligned. And then COVID hit, and that changed all the dynamics. So now we use a hybrid setup where once you're trained and you're approved to go remote, then we allow you to go remote. But again, our standards and our expectations are as rigorous as if somebody was sitting in our facilities. They're on our equipment with all our technology. It's a little creepy, but we have the access where if somebody's signed on, we can go in and make sure that they have a clean space with no interruptions, and just like we would do in the office. With oversight. So I think the challenge is keeping up with the times and acting as quick as a snap of a finger.
Yeah, and I mean,
But I think we do a fairly good job of doing that. COVID hit us hard for
Yeah.
a while, for a few
but
weeks.
you adapted, right?
But
And that's
we adapted. We had no choice. You adapt, and you do it well.
yeah, and I mean, you have to. And I kind of like, I've trained and developed a fair number of headhunters and recruiters over the years. And I was always a big fan of having new hires in an office where we had line of sight, where they're in a bullpen, they're around other people going through the same process. They can absorb so much. And if you're having a down day, someone can help lift you up and vice versa.
Exactly.
COVID comes in and then everybody goes remote. And I think
Right.
we lose some stuff but in that scenario. But I've always thought that, and when I train people, it's kind of my philosophy. If you're new to the business, I want to be on your shoulder and you on my shoulder. I want you to do
Right.
everything that I want you to do the way I want you to do it for the first 3 months. You start getting deals in, you start getting, your rhythm, your flow going on, and you want to change things, you go right ahead. If you're, paying for yourself and you're eating what you kill, fantastic. But if you do it the way I show you at first, I guarantee you we're going to get you where you want to go, or at least really, really close. I mean, you can, tweak it however you want. And I was always shocked at the number of people who just changed it wholesale after they kind of got out from underneath the wing. And, went tumbling down the hill. They'd have a great month and then bam, zeros for 2 or 3 months. And it's like, there's a pattern. You got to follow it. So I like the idea that, hey, let's bring you into a location where we have rigorous quality control, where we have rigorous training, and we have this regimen to prepare you to be able to work remotely and still meet the standards that we set expectations for with our client base. I think that's prudent. I think it's smart. And I wish more companies did that sort of thing. You kind of get people trained up, and then you give them enough rope to swing over the canyon, so to speak.
Right. And not everybody has that opportunity to go remote. And they can also elect to not go remote, even if we deem them, our operations management team deems them capable to go remote if they want. So some people will remain in our offices. They prefer that. And those that want to go remote, that are qualified, we would allow them. And we still keep very tight controls on them because we have very strong quality control protocols in place.
So are there industries outside of financial services that Copytalk has a bit to play?
Interestingly enough, yes, because there's some, even though we don't do medical terminology,
Mm-hmm.
we do have home health care, nursing home facilities, folks that are nurses, but they go out like visiting nurses, if you will, and they have to document all
Mm-hmm.
their notes,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got to be compliant dictation. And we do some in the legal field that they prefer to use us because instead of typing their notes or using an assistant that costs a heck of a lot more on a monthly basis than Copytalk does.
Mm-hmm.
We even have some, believe it or not, some auditors that use our service or
Hmm.
services that go out, like if when there's a hurricane and people have to go out into the field and they have to document all their notes. So
Yeah.
we have a lot of field auditors that use our service as well. They
Wow.
like the simplicity of being able to be on the go and using our service just by either picking up the phone using an app or dialing from any number. So
Well.
they also like what
Mm-hmm.
most people love, which is probably one of the most personally annoying things to me when I call up the firm that I do business with,
Mm-hmm.
is not having a person to speak to. And I am very, very proud of our customer service team. We answer the phones. I mean, sometimes if we're having a meeting, it'll go to voicemail, but
Mm-hmm.
I am a stickler for calling back. And if it's towards the latter part of the day, we're on Eastern Coast time. By the next morning, they'll have a call back if they
Mm-hmm.
need a call back. So we have real people answering the phone.
Well, that's in my opinion, that's huge. I think the more prolific AI becomes, and I'm talking chatbots, but I'm also talking about, I've gotten engaged in chat back and forth and even on the phone with someone who at first you'd think, okay, I'm talking to a person. But then you realize it starts feeding you answers repetitively, 2 or 3 times over, and you're like, you're not a person. You're a bot. And I think the more promulgated AI becomes when it comes to customer service, especially, the more valuable good human to human customer service skills are going to become in that interaction. So I'd say kudos to you because we get so much more done talking to a person. I think, number one. And number two, we all strive for connection. And, you're building out a brand. Well, if your brand is bot central and not human central, and you're missing those opportunities for the human to human connection, I think your brand could suffer, quite frankly. So I give you big marks, big props for having that. Hey, a person's going to talk to you. We're going to get this sorted out.
Right.
I think that speaks a lot. And I'm curious to know, how is that received with your customers? I mean, they like having that interaction versus let me hop on the chat bot and figure out,
Oh my God. I have to tell you, we get more compliments
Mm-hmm.
on, of course, our services and our people, because your people are who make the company. But I will tell you that, we're here to serve our clients.
Right.
I was one of our clients. I know what advisors need and want. I know what the industry needs and demands from the people that they do business with. Our clients are busy people. They're not making money if they need to talk to us.
Right.
They only make money when they're sitting in front of clients. And we respect that. So if they have to wait for a callback, if they need something for us, or they got locked out of their account for whatever reason, or forgot their password, whatever it may be, that's a simple call.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be able to give out password or resend password through a bot. We just don't do that, knock on wood. In 24 years, we've never had a breach. I hope that I will always say that in years to come.
Mm-hmm.
But we are very, very careful about that. But I can tell you that I get more compliments from our clients between the fact that we have great customer service here
Mm-hmm.
and great people here, from our account execs who are the that's their first line of defense,
Right.
our sales team. But that's their account exec. So when you open up an account with us, you are given an account exec to speak to as well that knows you and your firm a little bit more intimately, so they can guide you and give you some options or some tips and ideas to help make your business run smoother for what we do. And to me, as the CEO, that's the best that I can get. So I'm very proud of that.
Well, I mean, good
And I think
customer service.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, the good customer service and the quality of the work that we provide is, goes all in hand. What good is service if you don't have what good is customer service if you don't have a good product or a
Yeah.
good service that you're offering? So to me, it's all joined together along with a phenomenally talented development team and IT team. So it all works. It all
Well,
works.
my head's still turning a little bit over the comment, hey, 24 years we haven't had a breach.
Knock
I
on
mean,
wood, as they say.
that's pretty impressive, because we're in a world now where everybody's going to get breached at some point, or at least there's always someone trying. So kudos to you and your team. Let me ask you this, Maree. If somebody wants to learn more about Copytalk, wants to connect with you, wants to connect with the company, find out if there could be some opportunities for them to utilize your service, what's the best way for folks to find you?
Okay, if I know people don't talk on the phone a lot anymore, so our website is www.copytalk.com. Very simple. If you want to reach out to me, I'm very active on LinkedIn, or you can feel free to email. It's Maree, Maree Moscati, Moscati @copytalk.com. Or if you want to call us and get our customer service team on the line, it's 866-267-9825 and go for option 2, and that will link you to our customer service.
See, I go for option 2. I don't have to sit there and listen.
No, you don't have to. No, you don't have to go through the prompt. I mean, the prompts are very short and sweet, but we just say option 2. That'll just connect you right through.
Well, Maree, thanks so much.
See, we
for
like to
joining me
save
today.
people time. Well, thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
You bet. And we'll talk again soon. Maree Moscati at copytalk.com. Appreciate you.